Allow me to introduce myself.
I am the last sane sports fan.
I am a genius by trade.
I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to The View from the Midwest. Well, let's get right into it today. A few topics I want to cover. Firstly, let's just go right into it again. I'm tired of the topic, but it is still big news out there. Deflategate just will not go away, as Tom Brady has been given a 4-game suspension that was handed out a couple days ago. The team was also fined, I believe, $1 million. They're going to lose a first-round pick in 2016 and I believe a second-round pick in 2017. So the team actually got hammered pretty hard, not necessarily in terms of finances, but in terms of the draft picks. And Tom Brady got hammered pretty hard in terms of the games. A lot of people, the hardcore anti-Tom Brady people and anti-Patriots people wanted more games. But when you consider that 4 games is about a quarter of the season, that is a pretty hard suspension. Ultimately, Brady is going to appeal this. He'll probably win. He'll probably get it cut down to 2 games. I think 4 is fine. The big deal that people out there want to say is they fall into 2 categories. Basically, you think that it wasn't enough. You think that, or you kind of lump the people that think that it was enough in that category too. Or you get the people that think that this is just an absolutely ridiculous suspension, and to lose a player of that magnitude is unjustified, as Tony Kornheiser would put it. Listen, for me, it basically boils down to this. The Patriots have been caught cheating in the past. Fans, I do believe, would have rather this been laid at Bill Belichick's feet than Tom Brady. But the bottom line is Tom Brady had something to do with this. There is no clear-cut smoking gun out there, but there's enough circumstantial evidence that this isn't a situation that needs to hold up in court. It needs to be proven one way or the other enough for the league to make a decision. The league has made a decision, and basically they're saying you cannot try to gain a competitive advantage by circumventing the rules. You can agree with the rule, you can think that it's a stupid rule, but the rule is out there right now, and as it is constituted, Tom Brady had a part in breaking that rule. And ultimately, listen, I've commented on this channel many times now. I think that it was a stupid thing to do. He gained absolutely nothing by doing it. Maybe he's done it over the course of his career, so there could be more evidence out there that we are unaware of to where he did gain some sort of an advantage. But ultimately, it's a ridiculous situation. The NFL, quite frankly, needs to go back to just, you put a ball on the field, and you had the only other separate football that you might have is a kicking football. Other than that, the same 2 quarterbacks for both sides are using the same football. Every other sport does this. No other sport has something to where you get to have control over the touch and feel of your football. Even in baseball, I mean, yes, they're given new balls practically every other pitch, but still, the pitchers are still dealing with the same kind of baseballs. The league has looked after them, and I don't understand. I understand that it's a quarterback-driven league now, and basically they want to mandate just about anything they can to get more passing yards, more touchdowns, more points. But use the same football. If you have to change it out, it has to be a league-mandated football. I'm tired of this kowtowing to quarterbacks. I love offensive football. I want to sling the ball just about every single time. But this isn't video games. You have to use the same footballs. Get both sides, and then this wouldn't have happened. And Tom Brady wouldn't be in this situation, quite frankly, if he would have just apologized. Even if you wanted to do a half-hearted apology and still kind of put it at other people's feet, all he had to do was come out and say, listen, I told the grounds crew that I wanted the footballs a certain way. They went a little bit overboard, a little bit got taken too much out. I take full responsibility. I apologize. This isn't going to happen again. And this all goes away. But the Patriots are so arrogant in the fact that they think that they can get away with anything and that it'll just all be okay, that quite frankly, they deserve whatever they get. Next topic I want to talk on is the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're having a really good series from a neutral standpoint. I am not quite so neutral as I've long been a Chicago Bulls fan. Haven't watched the NBA very much since the Jordan days, but I still kind of follow the team. And Kirk Heinrich, former Jayhawk, still plays on the Chicago Bulls, although not very much here recently due to some injuries, and he's just kind of beat himself up through his career. But I digress. The Chicago Bulls are now down 3-2 in that series basically because of LeBron James. LeBron James hit the game-winning shot a couple games ago, and then the last game, he pretty much led everybody in every statistical category except for assists, which Derrick Rose had one more than him. Derrick Rose had 7. LeBron had 6. LeBron had 18 points. I believe he had 19 rebounds. Definitely double digits. He led all rebounders as well. So LeBron James is pretty much putting this series on his shoulders and saying that he's going to take his team at least to a conference finals, if not the finals. Right now, I have no faith in Washington or Atlanta being able to knock off the Cleveland Cavaliers. So it would, I believe the winner of this series probably would go to the finals. The Bulls are still kind of questionable. But basically, I still lay this at the Chicago Bulls' feet a little bit. Simply because LeBron James is obviously the best player in the league right now. He is making a case to put himself up there on that Mount Rushmore of the NBA, along with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Wilt the Stilt, whoever you want to put up there. He's making a case that he belongs up there. But the Bulls are still doing enough to give themselves a chance. They just can't seem to find the way to do it overall. And that is the disappointing thing, whether you're a Bulls fan or whether you just want a longer series. The Chicago Bulls, quite frankly, one of the big reasons is I almost wonder if overcoaching kind of plays into it a little bit. Tom Thibodeau is an excellent coach. The Chicago Bulls are lucky to have him for at least now. What the future holds, that's a whole different story. But he's a pretty good coach. He's a solid defensive coach, puts the team in good situations to win, especially in the regular season. Playoffs have been kind of a different animal. But the Chicago Bulls just can't seem to get that last little bit over the hump. And one of the questions I have is, are they being overcoached? Because they brought this up on PTI, so I'm not taking credit for this as my idea. But when Gibson and Mirotic are out there together, I believe they said the Chicago Bulls are like a plus 20, maybe even more than that. But still, it's a pretty high number. But instead, Thibodeau only plays them together probably on average of 5 to 7 minutes a night. That's just not enough. And I understand if you're wanting to have kind of a certain group out there or you want a certain other player out there. But when certain players are playing well together and doing well against the opposition, you got to give your team the best chance to win, regardless of what you specifically are hard-headed enough to want to do. I hope the Chicago Bulls figure something out. They've got to find a way. Game 6 is in Chicago. That's a perfect way to set things up. Big Game 7 in Cleveland, but you have to win the next one. Right now, the Chicago Bulls looking like they might be on the verge of getting kicked out by LeBron again. That's the view from the Midwest. What is your view on the topics that I talked about today? Leave us a comment in the comments section. Comment, rate, and subscribe, whether on YouTube or Facebook. I love having conversations with people, as long as it's all kept fairly civil. As always, as I said, comment, rate, and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, share it around with your friends. That's the view from the Midwest. Until the next time, I'll see you then.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. without care.